In this video, I'll talk about verbal cues and tonality in sales. These are two of the most important sales tools that are so powerful that not only prevent objections, they diffuse objections. Using verbal tonality and verbal cues and tonality, you can 5x, if not at least double your sales game. Now this video is going to be a live video of one of our sales classes. Yes, I charge money for that, but for this exact purpose, what I've done is I've asked permission from my students and my co-founder that this is an important topic that I need to share with world, so you should watch it. So without any further ado, let's get started. I was talking to one of our clients. His name is Mr. Ankit Batra. How many of you are here from Ankit Bhai's team? Put AB in the chat box if you are from Ankit Batra's team. Okay, all right, a lot of people. So one thing he mentioned that all his top players, when he asked like, what is it that you guys do so well that you are closing deals? I think the top players close about 60, 70, 50 deals a month, and their bottom players close about 10, 12, 13 deals a month. So only difference, when I asked him what is happening, he said the top players become very friendly with the prospect. They somehow build a lot of trust. And that's exactly what we'll be learning today. Okay? And to start with that, I'll teach you something about human brain. But if I show you this picture, don't get confused. We'll get into the actual nitty-gritties of the sales skills, which is why, first thing, I will share this particular document with you guys, right? This is the 5th week of our classic sales training program called Remote Closing Mastery. And because it's such an important topic, I didn't want to keep it to just myself. I want to share it with the world so that you at least get some knowledge out of it. So today's topic is tonality and verbal cues. The goal is to master verbal cues and use the right tone during a sales call so that you can build that relationships with your prospects. Okay? So in this particular thing, we'll cover multiple topics. Why are you learning this? What's the purpose of this? The magic of verbal cues and pausing. How to use verbal cues and pausing. We'll talk about tonality. How does it help? There are 5 types of sales tones that you should know about and practice on a daily basis to have the best or the most efficient sales call. I'll give you some examples of tonality, and then we'll talk about the deeper probing questions. And there is an assignment. The assignment is typically for our current students, but if you guys want to do it, please do it because it will help you upskill yourselves. So that's there. So let's start with the first thing. Why are you learning this? Well, every salesperson here knows the drill. You ask your prospect a well thought out question, explain a detailed answer, tell them about how great our product is, how can it change your life, and you hope that it leads you to close to a sale. And instead you meet with a vague, short response, and they barely talk, okay, yes, it will help, no, I don't really need this sort of a response. And despite your best effort, the conversation stalls and you're left with a polite, I'll think it over, I'll talk to my dead grandma, I'll talk to my ex-boyfriend who I don't even talk to, I don't know, all sorts of objections. So here we'll talk about how do we prevent these objections. So mind you, I'll not be teaching you some magic sales script, because honestly, what I believe is sales scripts don't work. It does not matter what you say, it matters how you say it. Okay? Now I'll give you a small example. Something happened to me, and this is where I picked up verbal cues. Back then I was learning sales. I was very new to this whole game. पहले नया सीख रहे थे, सब कुछ सीख रहे थे, and I just could not grasp this concept of verbal cues or tonality. मेरा mentor पढ़ा के थक गया. He almost gave up on me. Like तेरे से नहीं होने वाला. During that time, I had an accident. So my mentor always said, like, act empathetic, act emotional, act like if you care, put yourself in under shoes. Like, how do I know how to put myself in my prospect's shoes? मेरे को उसका जूता का size नहीं पता है. Right? So what happened was, while I was learning this, during that time, I met with an accident. So I fell from my bike. So I have a scar still in my left hand. So there was a deep cut here. And one dude was like, he was super, I really am thankful to him because he took me to the nearest hospital. And the doctor came in, he saw my hand, and he just did this. Okay, can you see me on the big screen right now? Just put yes again, if you can see this. Okay. He just did this. Like this. This. Oh, sir, ho gaya, sir, bike se gir gaya, ye ho gaya, cut ho gaya. That's when I clicked. Oh my God, he did not utter a word. And I just kept talking and talking everything about my problems. He just did like this. That's when I realized, oh, there is a lot more to do with how we talk than what exactly we talk. This is where the verbal cues come in. And I have been practicing it a lot for a while, and we have done over 3 million in sales. And this is the thing that I will give credits to. In fact, I tested it on 2 of my best salespeople. One guy came to me, oh wow, Zoom is celebrating. Okay, one guy came to me saying, oh Jan bhai, I have 9 years of sales experience. And the other guy was like a complete fresher. So this 9-year sales experience guy, I thought like, okay, he'll kill it. So I gave him my sales script. And the other guy, because I knew he was a fresher, I taught him all these things deeply. And the new sales guy that I hired during that time currently is heading my sales team because he really picked up on the verbal cues, even though he does not follow the script at all. Right? So your scripts don't matter. What you say doesn't matter. How you say matters the most. And that's exactly what we'll be learning. So the next topic is the psychological barrier. I gave the same exact script to 2 of my sales guys. The same script got me to close over $3 million in sales. However, one of them still closes as high as 30% close rate. In fact, this month his closing rate was at 60%, 66% because it was a warm audience. The other person was stuck to sub 10%. Here is why. I keep sharing this and not enough people take me seriously. Your script doesn't matter. In a sales call, what you say doesn't matter. It matters how you say it. How you say builds the relationship, builds a sort of rapport with your client, which makes them to trust you. And in fact, in the first 5 to 7 seconds of getting into the call, your prospect starts judging you. They judge your body language, they judge your tone, and they judge your vocal cues. And they try to judge whether you are going to help them or not, or are you going to just simply sell them. In their mind, they're trying to figure out, hey, is this guy trying to hurt me? Or can I trust this guy? And this is called the reptilian brain. This is a fancy diagram of showing this. But I wanted to show this to you in my trusty little whiteboard. How many of you can see this if I stop sharing? Now, obviously in the document you have a more fancy version, but my I don't know, you call it Renaissance painting, says that this particular portion of the brain is what we call the croc brain or the crocodile brain or the lizard brain, right? And then we got the midbrain, and then we have the neocortex version, which is the most advanced, most recently developed thing. Now we try to sell to this guy. We do all our marketing and sales and all the scripts are built to sell this guy. But this guy has only probably 3 or 4 purposes in his life. The moment this guy receives a message, this thinks, is this guy trying to kill me? So should I kill this guy? Should I eat this guy? Should I mate with this guy? What should I do, right? So this particular brain exists to protect us from all sorts of harmful things. This is why exactly we are always skeptic of new things. This is why we are always skeptic of changing something new. You always have this doubt thinking, oh, maybe this may not work for me. Maybe I need to talk to somebody else. Maybe I need a second opinion. This guy is the reason behind that. And do you know who this guy opens up to? The croc brain only opens up to your friends, your families, and your relatives. So that this guy knows that those people, your friends, families, and relatives are your well-wishers. I'm not going to comment on the relatives part, but chalo, at least theoretically this works, right? Now, the crocodile brain responsible for initial filtering. This is who you are actually pitching to, right? Neocortex is what you think you are pitching to, and midbrain is what you are actually pitching to if you are satisfying the croc brain. So it goes here, then it goes here, your message, then it goes to the neocortex, right? The problem solving ability is something that is covered by neocortex. Now the croc brain filters things like this. If this is not dangerous, ignore it. If it is not new and exciting, ignore it. If it's new, summarize it as quickly as possible and forget about the details. Do not send anything up to the neocortex for problem solving unless you have a situation that is really unexpected and out of the ordinary, right? The problem with the sales thing or salespeople is that we have our highly evolved neocortex, which is full of details, abstract concepts, trying to persuade the crocodile brain, which is afraid of almost everything and needs very simple, clear, direct, and non-threatening ideas to decide in our favor. The harsh but true reality is that the croc brain, the source of your target's first reaction to your pitch, is going to ignore you. Only focused on the big picture and needs a high contrast and well differentiated options to choose between. It's emotional. This is why you are selling it to. It responds emotionally to what it sees and hears, but most of the time, the emotional response is fear. So you have to bypass this fear brain. Now, so when you focused on in here with a short attention span, that craves always new things, and in need of concrete fact, it looks for verified evidence that does not look like abstract concept. Now, I told a lot of theories here. Now, if you want to really go deep into psychology, there is a beautiful book called Pitch Anything. It's a very thin book, hardly probably 100 pages, but this dude, Oren Klaff, is one of my biggest mentors in sales. And हम लोग क्या 5,000, 10,000, 1 lakh का चीज़ बेचते हैं. This guy raises funds for startups. So, his deals are in billions, if not millions or hundreds of millions. Because if he fails to raise funds for a startup, entire families go to die, right? So imagine the stakes in these scenarios. So this is exactly what I wanted to share. I know this part is a little bit boring, but this is where verbal cues come in. And a little bit of time, I'll show you how verbal cues act in action. So I'll be asking some of you to volunteer. I'll ask you guys to raise your hand probably, and we can have a really nice conversation with these exercises and see how a little bit of change in a particular sentence changes the whole meaning, right? To bypass the brain, you don't need a sales script. You need something that I call meta-verbal communication, or simply put, meta-communication. This is secondary communication, an indirect cue about how a piece of information is meant to be interpreted. It means how you say a certain word has a bigger and larger effect than what you say, right? Now, how many of you want to see this thing firsthand? Raise your hand in the Zoom thing. There will be a reaction thing in Zoom. Click on that reaction button. There will be a lot of raise hand symbols like this. Raise your hands if you want to see this thing firsthand. All right. So who wants to be the dummy for me? All right. Put me in the chat box. Maybe I can pick you guys, one of you. So I'll pick from the people who raised their hand. Vishal, should you do a role play?
Yes, Jen, we can go ahead.
Awesome, awesome, beautiful. Thanks a lot. So what I want you to do, Vishal, is go ahead and read this sentence, but focus on the word that is in the dark. So let's say I'll do the first one for you and the second one for you, and I want you to do the rest. Okay? I didn't say he stole the money. I didn't say he stole the money. So next.
I didn't say he stole the money. 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 I didn't say he stole the money.
Right? And we see how just by emphasizing on one word and one different word each time, the meaning of the whole sentence changes. Right? How many of you think that is cool? Put cool in the chat box for me. And I want this interaction. Koi soega nahi aaj ki class mein. Put cool in the chat box for me. If that was pretty cool. Yeah? Awesome. Now this is exactly what my boys were missing, and a lot of salespeople keep missing, right? What people really miss out on is where exactly to put this emphasis. So if you just knew in your sales script which word to really put focus on, do you think you can really increase the impact of that particular line that you just said, or really increase the impact of that conversation that you just said, right? Yeah? Awesome. So we'll have a lot of this sort of exercises coming. Don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for your personal details or get into your mind or something. This will be very simple exercises like this. Okay? Now, verbal cues and pausing are tools that can help you create a comfortable space for your prospects to open up. By carefully choosing your word and where you pause, you can signal to your prospect that this is not a sales pitch, but rather a conversation. So let's talk, let's engage, let's date a little bit before we get married, right? And this approach can flip the script. Touch wood, there is a book called Flip the Script by the same guy, Oren Klaff. I really admire this guy because he is the master of tonality, making the prospect feel at ease and more willing to share. Okay? Now, how exactly to use verbal cues in sales? So let me go ahead and show you this, and let me change the camera to, yep. How many of you can see me in the big screen? Let me know in the chat. So yeah. Awesome? Beautiful. It's clear. So let's unveil this first one. Uh-oh. My sticker is too sticky. Okay, got it. There are probably 7 verbal cues. Let's start with pause. So when you really want to put impact on a certain line, these micro pauses, just like I'm doing right now, these micro pauses, dramatically increase the impact of a certain statement. For example, if I were to ask you, let's say a question, which is like, let's say we have Sunil here. Sunil sends kids abroad for their education and whatnot. Their parents are on the call, and I want to really create an impact in the parents' mind by asking how important is it, what is the biggest challenge they are facing when it comes to sending their kid abroad. So I can simply ask, so Mr. Vishal, I get it. What is the biggest challenge that you're facing right now when it comes to taking your kid abroad? So if I just emphasize on the word challenge and just wait for 2 seconds and let the rest part go, what their mind says, okay, I need to talk about challenge. And most of the people start blabbering. What are the problems? What are the situations? Blah, blah, blah. No. What are the challenges that you are facing when you are trying to send your kid abroad? And just go mum. That silence is so painful that your prospects has no other way but to rather open up to you, right? So silence is a beautiful, beautiful way to go ahead and build certain type of impact in your whole conversation. You can slow down the speed so that your prospect really understands what exactly are you saying. Or you can say something very, very loud so that whatever you're saying, the impact of that particular thing goes up. Or you can say something really, really fast so that, this is not really important, but you are speaking really, really fast just to have a little bit of fluctuation, right? Sometimes you are repeating the same thing so that your pitch is clear, right? Sometimes you need to repeat a certain thing so that this thing gets installed in your prospect's mind. You might need to add something called as rhetorics, like, do you really think you can do that? You seem like a smart guy. Why couldn't you figure this thing out on your own? Sometimes you might need to add some sort of a rhetorical question. What this does, it creates it breaks the ice, it creates an atmosphere of friendliness, and sometimes you might need to use gestures, just like I'm doing, and sometimes you need to, point, I don't know, my spelling is wrong here, you need to point certain things which allows you to divert the focus of your prospects into different things, right? So these are different kinds of verbal cues. Now how exactly to use this, we'll see it in a particular exercise that we'll do. Okay? Clear so far with the verbal cues? And if I have to give you one verbal cue that you can take home and keep using throughout your sales conversation, it's called the pause. बाकी कुछ भी नहीं सीखाना चलेगा. Just learn how to pause at the right time. That's all. It's so difficult for the human brain to pause because once we keep yapping, we just keep yapping. It takes a lot of self-awareness to pause at the right moment to create that sort of an impact, right? And if you notice, all the big politicians, all the successful figures in the history, they pause for effect a lot. आप मित्रों पढ़ोगे तो मित्रों के बाद वो पॉज करेगा, ठीक है? So I'm not taking names. So yeah, right? So rhetorical question. So it's like a question with an obvious answer, right? So that's called a rhetorical question. Now let's go a little bit deep, shall we? Or are you like, अरे यार तुम बहुत boring पका रहे हो और नहीं पढ़ना मेरे को? I need to really go deep into. I don't want to go deep into sales. I just want to keep using the same script that I have been taught all my life. Or do you guys want me to go really, really deep into this one concept so that from this point onwards, you never need to learn this one thing again? Deep? Put deep in the chat box for me. Okay, cool. We can go deep now. Yes, I like this. That was a rhetorical question. Yes, somebody really caught it. Good thing, Norman. All right. So next thing that we're going to learn is tonality. Tonality is nothing but verbal cues added with a little bit of emotions. Okay? Now, because when you're talking to people, you are talking to basically emotional beings. People respond to emotions more than anything. See, in the beginning of the call, more than half of you don't know who I am. Your boss told me you have to attend and you came and attended this particular call. You have no idea who this big, beautiful, handsome guy right here is. But by saying that word, some of you laughed. We broke the ice. We became friends instantly. Right? And what tone did I use there? It was called a playful tone. To break that ice so that we kind of start a bond right here. Right? Because we are emotional beings. And again, I did all of that without saying a word that I am funny. No, it doesn't need to be, because it's all in that meta-verbal communication that you just witnessed right in the first moment of coming into this call. Yes? How many of you agree? Put yes in the chat box. Awesome. Now, what the F is tonality? Tonality in communication, especially in sales and negotiation, refers to the way one's voice conveys emotions. Emotions, attitude, intention beyond the words. And not just about what you say, but how you say it. Keep seeing this one line repeating all over the place. The tone of voice can express enthusiasm, doubt, sincerity, concern, confusion, or any number of emotional states. It plays a crucial role in how messages are received or interpreted by others. I mean, these are my notes, by the way, you can go ahead and read it. Now, it helps to build rapport with the clients, convey sincerity, effectively address concerns, and the right tone can make your client feel understood and valued, paving the way for successful outcomes. Whether it's showing empathy, enthusiasm, confidence, communication, whatever. This is the thing. Now, there are 5 types of tones you need to really look at when it comes to a sales thing. There are multiple types of tone, honestly, they are not just 5. But these 5 are the most important ones in a sales conversation. The first one is confused. Now you might ask, and a lot of people ask me, by the way, whenever I teach this thing, is it clear, by the way? Let me check if I can switch on the studio camera. Center stage. I think this will be a nice little zoom in. Yeah? Let me check if it is zoomed in. Yeah, awesome. Clear now? Let me know in the chat. Awesome. Yeah, this is cool. So a lot of people tell me that, Jayant, we are salespeople. Aren't we supposed to act confident about our product? Aren't we supposed to act like we know everything in the world and we have the answer to all their questions? Why are you asking us to sound confused? The reason why I ask is, every other goddamn salesperson in the planet acts confident. And when you act confused, take 2 minutes of time to really understand the problems that your prospect is going through. It opens them up. You just stand out of the herd, right? And how does this confused tonality help? Let me ask you a question. So if I have to ask, what are the biggest challenges that you are facing when it comes to lead generation? That's a question that we ask typically for our marketing agencies. So if I ask, so what are the challenges that you're facing when it comes to lead generation? How does that sound? Full confidence, enthusiastic, whatever. Or if I say, Vishal, I saw your whole marketing funnel, it looks good. So what challenges are you facing when it comes to generating leads? Why at all talk to me? Now what kind of effect that gives to you? Do you think a prospect will open up to that as opposed to really hyping, oh, what challenges are you facing? Tell me now. Which one do you think will work the best? The first one, the confused one, or the second one, the confident one? Give me 1 or 2 in the chat. Yeah? Confused one? Confused one? Yeah? Awesome. Second one was confident, by the way. Yeah, I don't remember which one was which. So, curious. Little bit of curiosity in your tone goes a long way. So, especially in case of an inbound lead, let's say somebody put their name, email address, phone number in an ad, and they came and talked to us, right? Then we add a curious tone where you say, oh, Vishal, I'm really curious. What part about my ad really, vibed with you the most? Or what part of my ad, attracted you to us specifically though? Now, what this does, it opens them up. And every time I ask that question, by the way, what part of my ad really opened you up? They keep telling their Ram Katha, ye problem ho raha tha bhai, wo problem ho, lekin tumhara ad dikh gaya. And I thought these guys are really good. And what this does, prospects sell themselves on me before I even start pitching about my product. Do you think this will help? Let me know in the chat. We'll do a lot of exercises in the future. Put yes in the chat box, because your faces are very small to me right now from where I'm looking at. So put like yes in the chat box so that I know. Awesome. The third one is challenging. So let's say I'm asking a very difficult question. Let's say a difficult question is, let's say for example Sunil here sends, he runs a study abroad consultancy. Let's say we challenge the parents like, hey, what if we don't send your kid to abroad for education at all? If we don't change anything about your current situation, what do you think will happen? That's a, we call it future pacing in a negative way. We have a future pacing in a positive way as well. But let's say we ask the same question, challenge. So Vishal, can I challenge you for a second here? The reason why I'm doing this is because I really want to understand what's the alternative, just so that we steer clear of all the bad things and go towards the good things. I want to know. So let's say we don't change anything. Your kid stays here, he stays in India, compete with all the 100 colleges, and and we don't send him for a better and brighter future abroad. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think they will actually think about these consequences that I just talked about? Yeah? This is called a challenger tonality. There is actually a book called The Challenger Sale. So if you are a book nerd like me who likes to read a lot of stuff about sales, that's another book for you. Concerned. Somebody just shared their pain point. Oh, business mein pehle we used to get 30 customers a day. Now we are barely down to 15. Business is down by half. You don't want to sound very, very confident. You want to sound concerned, like, what are you talking about? The business became half? And how did that make you feel? It's concerned. ये दर्द से आता है अंदर से, right? Because this guy's business just became half. Like, how can you not be concerned? But a lot of people, they ask like this. So, Mr. Vishal, so how did that make you feel? Like, who the hell talks like that? And people who typically follow a script, they talk like that. They never build a relationship with their people or their prospect. And what happens eventually is they say, oh, मेरा deal close नहीं हुआ. Prospect अच्छा था, लेकिन उसका mindset अच्छा नहीं है. All you sales people, I know the excuses because I have been a salesperson myself and I manage the sales team myself. Or playful. Playful one works very well in building rapport, breaking the initial amount of ice. The way, let's say we open up a Zoom call, or let's say we went to a call. Let me give you an example, by the way. Let me come back here. So we went to a particular client's company to pitch them. So in their case, I had to go to their office and pitch my services, right? And we were there, and this guy was like, hey Jayant, how are you? Like this, very like Ritesh Agarwal type. Have you seen Shark Tank? How he's like always smiling like this? Always, like he was like that. Hey Jayant, how are you? It was a very friendly face, but I know this is the mask. So instead of saying, all good sir, how are you? No, I said, all good Ritesh, just trying not to be the boring guy and not to bore you to death. And he laughed and we broke ice, and that was the moment we became friends, just like the way we did here today. I was like, can you guys see my big, beautiful, handsome face? And everybody laughed. And I use this joke everywhere, by the way. People love it. My wife hates it though. कि तू handsome नहीं दिखता चल बोलती है. But anywho, see, that was a playful tone again. So these are the 5 types of tone, and I have described this to their best extent here. You can go ahead and read it in the document. I just wanted to demonstrate this properly in this particular board. Now let's do another exercise. Who is up for another exercise? Very simple. Raise your hand and I'll pick you, and we'll do a very quick exercise on tonality. Okay? Now Vishal ko I'll not pick. Okay, Dishika. Dishika is not from our cohort, so let's start with Dishika. Hi Dishika, hi. What is up?
Hello.
Whose team are you in?
Sorry?
I mean, you came from a client's team, right?
Yes, from Ankit Batra's.
Okay, cool. Ankit bhai, अरे यहीं पे बैठे हैं आप. ठीक है, चलो ठीक है. Let's do a quick exercise here. Awesome. Thank you very much for being so prompt. This is the same word, yeah. But right next to the word, I have added a feeling, an emotion. Let me do the first 3 for you, and I want you to do the next whatever number. I forgot how to count. Yourself. Okay. The first one is yeah, neutral. Yeah, falling. Yeah, rising. Now I want you to act with this enthusiasm, excitement, super excitement, uncertain, surprise, and disinterested. Okay, let's start with this one.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't sound enthusiastic. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. So
Oh
that's
yeah, that's
exciting.
awesome. That's good. That's good. Then exciting.
Yeah. So that's super exciting.
Okay.
Yeah. That's uncertain.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah. That's
Surprise.
surprising.
Yeah.
And then,
Disinterested.
yeah.
See, it's the same goddamn word. I don't know how many emotions. Let me put a counter to it. We have 9 emotions
9 of them.
for the same word. And people tell me, oh Jayant, give me a sales script that can close deals. अब ये एक word में 9 emotions हैं. How would you convey emotions in a whole sales script that goes for like 20 pages? Yeah, this is where understanding tonality absolutely comes into the picture. How many of you had a sense of what to talk and how to talk? And how many of you at least understood something how to talk? Put me in the chat box if you felt this was valuable. Awesome. आप मेरे को पढ़ाना कुछ नहीं, अभी exercises हैं. So how many of you want to keep doing this sort of exercises so that you install this whole tonality game in your mind? Raise your hands. Whoever raises their hands, I'll ask them as volunteers. I'll just keep giving you one line like this and we'll have a lot of fun like this. ठीक है? कोई नई दिशिका का हो गया, अभी नहीं करेंगे. New people. I want new people. We have Naishargi as well. Let's start with, I don't know him, her, how to pronounce. But keep raising your hands. I'll pick people. नहीं तो मेरे को लगेगा यार you are hurting my feelings and you just came here just because your boss told you to. Come on. मेरा दिल दुख जाएगा यार सही में. Raise your hand. Or put me in the chat. Whatever works. देखा? See, you guys respond to emotions. Your prospects will also do that too. ठीक है? Cool. Naisargi, can you hear me? I'm trying to ask you to unmute, but not sure. Okay, we'll go with Sejal.
Yes, Jayant.
Awesome. Which team are you from?
Not from RCM batch 2.
Oh, you're from batch 2? Okay, awesome. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have too many people here to keep track. All right, let's do this one. Can you tell me
Okay.
more about your current challenges? And we have 5 different tones that we'll be going through here, and we'll use this particular emotions while explaining these challenges. So let me do this one for you, and then you can start with this one. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Awesome. Cool. So the question is, can you tell me more about your current challenges? This is how a normal, neutral person will say. Okay? Now, if I'm confused, I'll say, I'm not quite sure. I'll repeat. I'm not quite sure I understand your challenges. So could you explain a bit more to me? Then curious, that sounds interesting. Can you deep dive into those challenges for me? Challenging. So how do those challenges really impact your overall goals though? Concern.
Okay.
So gotcha, man, these challenges, these are worrying me. So how are you coping with them? How does that make you feel? Playful. So if you had a magic wand, which challenge would you like to make disappear first? Right? You will get 5 tonality. Let's start with this one with you. Start with the confused one.
Okay. I'll just do it. Yeah.
Oh, I remember your profile picture. Okay, now I know. And I saw
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah. So,
Fine. So, first is I'm confused. Sorry. I might have missed, but what exactly have you tried to solve the issue?
not bad.
Then-
Good.
Okay. Then I'll go for curious. Oh, interesting. What other solutions have you experimented with?
Why don't you keep the
Fine.
camera on though? I can't see your face. Come on.
Actually, I'm with my cell phone, right?
Okay,
And
okay. You can't see.
not
Okay,
visible.
Cool. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So let's go for challenging tone.
Yes.
Do you think solutions were effective or could have been a better approach?
So it'll really help, when this sort of a question,
Yeah.
I try to do this in any question that I ask. I try to act slightly confused towards the end of the question.
Okay. 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 I'll do it once again. I'll do it once
Yeah.
again. Do you think these? Do you think those solutions were effective, or it could have been, or they could be a better approach? Something like this.
Yeah, something like I would say.
Okay.
Do you think the solutions were
Yeah.
effective, or could there have been a better approach?
Yeah.
A
Okay.
little
I
bit
got it.
confused
I
towards
got it.
the
I
end
got it.
really helps. Okay?
I got it. So I'll go for the concern tone now.
Yes.
It sounds like those attempts might have not worked out. How did that affect you? Learn.
That's cool. That's cool.
Okay. I'll get actually there's some phone problem. Now that's why I'm not able to see.
No
Well,
problem.
I'll try with the playful tone. Okay. Try turning it off on and again. Is that too cliche for the solution?
So
No.
playful is like,
Then please
I
do
would
this
try
for one.
restarting this whole thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that will help. That is a like,
I got it.
jokingly.
I got
Usually
it.
that's not the right tone for this question, by the way. But I just
I got it. I got it.
okay.
Okay.
Cool, great stuff. Let's give a good hand to Sejal for trial. Who else do we have? We have Priyanka, but where we have Priyanka? Priyanka, raise your hand, no? Otherwise I can't see. Do you see that reaction thing somewhere there? हाँ मेरे को एक एक ढूंढना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे. How many of you want me to pick you up? Just raise hand in that Zoom thing. मेरे को पता नहीं चल रहा यार कहाँ कहाँ से निकालेंगे. Priyanka, I can't find one. Shweta. Okay, Priyanka raised her hand. Yes, awesome. So let's unmute Priyanka to begin with. Yes. Hi Priyanka, what is up?
Hi,
Which group are you from? Are you from our RCM or from any? Sorry?
AB's group. I'm from Ankit Batra's group. Yeah.
अरे अंकित भाई आपका टीम तो बड़े प्रोएक्टिव है यार. सही है. I like it. चलो, let's do it with this one. How important is solving this issue for you? Try with confused, curious, challenging, concerned, and playful. ठीक है?
Just wait. Yeah. And so, how important is solving this issue to you?
Yes. Act confused and go through this.
Okay. Confused tone. I'm a bit lost here. How critical is this issue for you? Actually, sir, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay.
Actually, my eyes are weak. Actually, I'm not.
No problem. No problem.
This is
You want me
very,
to like,
very.
is it better?
Yeah. This is better. This is better. Thank you so much. Yeah. Confused tone. I'm a bit lost here. How critical is this issue for you, or a scale of 1 to 10?
So let's say we are a little bit of confusion to this. So I'm a little bit confused. So when I get confused, I act confused. Like my eyebrows come closer and I feel like this. I always tilt my head like this. So I'm a little bit confused. So how important is this solution for you on a scale of 1 to 10? Right? So this is a little bit of act. Even if I'm on the phone, right? I do this. It still conveys the same meaning because you might feel, okay, the other person doesn't see me. They still feel you, right? So
Right,
that
sir.
definitely helps. Let's do with curious tone. I'm really keen to know how high on your priority list is this issue. Let's repeat back.
I'm really keen to know how high on your priority list is this issue. Is this right?
Not bad. That's pretty good actually. इसको तो और थोड़ा सा practice करेंगे ना हो जाएगा बढ़िया हो गया.
Yeah.
Good
Okay,
stuff.
okay.
Let's challenge it. If that's so important, what's stopping you from tackling it right away? Challenge it. मतलब बताओ तुमने क्यों नहीं कर लिया खुद से? ऐसा वाला attitude, right?
Yeah. If it's so important, what's stopping you to from tracking is right away? Is it okay, sir?
और थोड़ा better हो सकता है. कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. I mean, I'll give this sheet to you. I want you guys to practice this sort of a thing on a daily basis.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Because
Dude, like you guys are doing much better than my first ever attempt. Like I did this for 3 whole months. I couldn't get it. So it comes with a lot of practice. I'll give you some tips towards the end on how exactly to practice and to really become better. Cool. Then we got concerned tone. Let's go with this one.
Concern tone.
Yeah.
Okay. I can sense this. I can sense this is quite important. What impact is it having to you on your business?
So concerned means you are seeing like something is not going the right way, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
I can see this is quite important. So what impact is it having on you or your business? So how do you talk to a friend? किसी का घर में कोई death हो गई है. You don't say like, okay, what impact is it having you, right? You say like, भाई क्या हो गया? सब सही है घर में? How are you feeling? दारू पीने चले? Like I don't drink, by the way. Just putting it out there. But yeah, this is how boys talk. I don't know how girls talk. I've never been a girl, so don't ask me. My wife just cries if she is hurt. So मैं बोलता हूँ चल आइसक्रीम खाने चलते हैं. She's all okay with that. But yeah. So anyhow, playful tone. I do this. I'll do this for you. ठीक है मैं ये बहुत बड़ा यूज करता हूँ. So playful tone में ऐसे on a scale of 0 means Giant I hate your face you ugly motherfucker to 10 Giant you are my bro I'll listen to whatever you say. Where exactly do you feel you need help here? So people are like active. I never use playful in this sort of scenario though. But good attempt Priyanka, very good attempt. I think थोड़ा और practice करेंगे तो बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा.
I
Good
do
stuff.
sense that. अभी सर मुझे थोड़ा सा विजिबल होने में प्रॉब्लम हो रहा था,
कोई
but
दिक्कत
that is
नहीं.
very little actually.
No problem, no
More
problem.
letters there, that's why only, sir.
But you
Thank
got
you.
the gist, right? You got how to do this. I think you
I
should
understand.
practice.
Yeah, I'm understanding means how to just means
Awesome, beautiful. I love it. Let's go with Norman Bhai. Norman Bhai तो फुट डालेगा उसको आता है बहुत सारा. So Norman Bhai is from Deepak Panish Ji's teams. He is already killing it. So let's do it, Norman Bhai.
High expectations. Sure.
High expectation तेरा. Now best or nothing, Norman Bhai तेरे से. Cool. So the question is, what are you looking for in a solution? I want you to give me these 5 here.
Okay. So let's start with the confused tone.
Yeah.
Could you help me understand a bit better? What's your ideal outcome here?
भाई देखो बोला था नहीं इसको सब आता है. I should not have picked you, bro. Like you already know this stuff. So चलो, let's go with curious.
Okay. That's a good point. What specific features or results are you hoping for in this solution?
Okay, not bad. Very good. Challenging.
Are those criteria even realistic, considering your current situation?
I do this a lot. So sometimes people come to me and they are barely making like 50,000 a month and they'll book a call. मेरे को नहीं पता होगा. And then I'll be like, okay, so what's your goal? They're like, I want to make 10 lakhs per month in the 3 months. Like, भाई तू 50,000 रुपए कमा रहा है. They're like, okay, this challenger tone definitely helps there. Concerned. Let's go here.
Finding the right fit seems vital for you.
It sounds confused, bro.
Okay.
Concerned. मतलब दर्द आना चाहिए थोड़ा सा.
Finding the right fit seems vital for you. How have the wrong solutions impacted you before?
थोड़ा सा और रहना चाहिए. So, I mean, you don't need to follow the script to the T. We can just say, Aman, it seems like it's a big challenge. So, what exactly are you looking for in a solution so that these issues can go away?
Mhm.
By the way, it's the same thing.
Right.
And this is what I mean by you don't have to follow the script. You can also like make your own words that makes you feel more comfortable stating the same emotion. That's why I say F the script. I should print it out in a t-shirt.
Okay.
Throw your scripts, ditch your script, whatever. Let's say playful.
Okay. So if you could design like a dream solution, what kind of superpowers would you have?
ये गलत टोन है लेकिन honestly इस particular situation में. But चलो ठीक है, exercise के लिए it's good. Good job, Norman bhai. Beautiful, I love it. Let's have big hands. Norman, who else wants to go? Sajal का हो गया. I'll not pick you again. So we already did it. So raise your hand. Last exercise of the day, and raise your hand. Who should I pick? Or just put me in the chat. नहीं तो I'll start picking from my end. Shweta. Hi Shweta. What is up?
Hello, Janji.
Hi. Which group are you from?
Ankit Batra sir's team.
Sorry?
Ankit Batra sir's team.
Bhai, Ankit Batra sir ka team is on fire, dude. Like, awesome. I can't wait to train you guys. Cool. So
Thank you
let's
so
do
much,
it.
sir.
Do you think it's helping?
Yeah, it's very helpful
Awesome.
and it's interesting to all.
Awesome. Let's do the number 5 one, last one. So how do you feel about the options presented? Let's say we pitch it. We can act confused, we can act curious, we can act challenging, concerned, playful. Playful wala kabhi kaam nahi aata. It's just for rapport building, honestly. I never use it apart from the first line. But yeah, let's go with this confused tone.
I'm not sure. I got your reaction. How do you really about these options?
How do you really feel about this option, Avo?
I will feel I'm not saying that.
हाँ चलो कोई बात नहीं. Do it again.
मुझे दिख नहीं रहा. Do it again?
Yeah, confused.
Okay. I'm not sure. I got your reaction. So how do you really feel about these options?
Yeah, cool. थोड़ा सा practice, but सही जा रहे हो. Curious.
Have you seen what's on the table? What are your thoughts? So what are your thoughts, sir?
Okay, so you have seen what's on the table. So what are your thoughts? So थोड़ा सा proactive, challenging.
So do any of these options actually meet your needs or sorry, मुझे दिख नहीं रही line ये
Do
again.
any of these options actually meet your needs, or are we just shooting in the dark?
Okay.
This is
So-
called confused or challenging.
So do any of these options actually meet your needs or are you shooting it in dark?
अब 2-3 बार पढ़ोगे तो हो जाएगा वैसे honestly. But
Actually,
good first
proper
attempt, no problem.
दिख नहीं रहा अभी थोड़ा ना proper.
चलो कोई बात नहीं. Concerned? Honestly, this is not the right thing to present for this question, but चलो ठीक है. We can still ask the concerned question.
Okay, so you seem a bit hesitant about these options. So what's on your mind? Can you please explain what's on your mind right now? This is okay? Or
इसको थोड़ा सा देख. So what is going on in your mind? Something like that if you ask. I mean, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. ऐसे it was good. Playful will not work. It will feel very weird for this question, but let's do it anyway. Imagine this options for ice cream flavors. Which one would you pick? Or are they all vanilla for you?
so imagine these options with ice cream flavor. So which one you would pick or are they all a bit vanilla for your taste?
Nice, that was actually good. Cool, good stuff. Big hands for Shweta. Good stuff. I like it. Awesome. So let me ask you all a question. Did you guys learn something about tonality, verbal cues, where to stop? Yes, put it in the chat box for me. And obviously, it's probably not possible to make you a master in like a 50-minute training. It'll need a lot of what? Practice. Yeah. So the way we practice, me, Adib, so in our team, we do daily role plays. So 10 to 11, right now Adib is doing with my sales team because I have to work with a lot of other places. So in our team, we do daily role plays on tonality without missing a shot. Monday to Friday, 10 to 11, we always do it. So try it. If you are in a team, please find a time to like actually do these role play exercises and especially focus on the tones. Script भाड़ में जाए, script आप change कर सकते हो. Feel free. I don't care. आपके sales manager ने आपको script दी है, उसको जला दो आज रात. It won't help. You understand the framework, you use the right tone. That's the key to the sale. Okay? So I want you guys all to practice this. Now, let me, by the way, we also did something called as a mirror exercise. I do it in my bathroom till date. So look at yourselves in the mirror and try asking the same questions in different tones, and you'll yourself feel what tone is right for you. It's an acting exercise, by the way. It's not even a sales exercise, but I make people do it because it's at the end, it's just communication. Come on. It's just you talking to another human being who should respond emotionally to you, right? That's the whole game here. So all you have to do is practice on this whole thing. Next, I have added something called as deeper probing questions. So these are important because our current students would know we use something called as a Socratic dialogue when it comes to selling. We never have a PPT open. We never say, oh, we have the best product in the world. We actually do something called a Socratic dialogue. That means we ask very skilled questions to our prospects so that they convince themselves on the sales process. So I always keep telling this, you don't sell when you convince someone, you sell when they convince themselves that this is the right fit for me. So how do you take them from a journey of like, should I listen to this guy, to like, oh, I should definitely buy from them? It's through the art of asking really skilled questions. Now, in our journey, let's say even if you are asking people, in your case, Ankit Batraji's case, because his team is so proactive, I love it. Let's say you guys your prospects have just attended the webinar and you are on a call with them, or even if they have picked the call, did not signed up for the webinar, did not attend it, okay? Whatever the case, you can simply ask in a curious tone. So Priyanka, so what really attracted you to our thing? What really आपको क्या ऐसा अच्छा लगा हमारे ad में जो आप हमारे webinar में आ गए, अभी नहीं आ पाए, whatever, and then say blah blah blah, gotcha. Then what to say? So I add something called as deeper probing questions. So when they give one answer, never believe them. Everybody in the world lies because in their mind you are another salesperson. So what we do, we add these set of questions that I call deeper probing questions. When you add these layers of questions, they keep telling more and more about this stuff. So let's say they said, oh yeah, I'm having this issue. I really think numerology can be the answer. Gotcha. So tell me more about why you feel like numerology can be the answer. Now they'll have to explain that last statement. In the process of explaining the statement, they keep saying whatever they want to say, and in the process of explaining this thing, they convince themselves, right? So that is a theory. During affirmation, they have taught me, and there is this podcast by Tom Bilyeu and Simon Sinek where they said why you should not be saying bad things about yourself, because whatever you say, it resonates 4 to 7 times in your head, and whatever you write resonates 10 to 15 times in your own head, which is why you should never say bad things about yourself. You should always say positive things about yourself, which is also the whole affirmation sciences are built on that. So when your prospect tells about the problems that they are facing, they understand what problems they are going through, which makes them realize the gap that you are selling. So let's say they said, oh, I'm having XYZ issue. And you say, tell me more about this XYZ issues. So let's say they say, "Arey, business loss mein ja raha hai." Really? What do you mean when you say loss mein ja raha hai? Then they start giving you numbers. Got it. And how does that make you feel? Or has that put you in a tough spot? Concerned. वो क्या बोलेगा? Yes, I have. Thank you for understanding. Because half the time entrepreneurs are lonely, honestly. Everybody is lonely. Like, we don't really have honest conversation nowadays, right? So let's say somebody is not giving the right sort of answer, like, हाँ सही चल रहा है, लेकिन थोड़ी दिक्कतें आ रही है. Really? Can you give me any example of this दिक्कतें that you are talking about? Or sometimes you can just restate their statement as a question. Let's say, oh man, don't tell me this weight gain is stressful. Weight gain is stressful? Or sometimes, my favorite, I do the same thing that the doctor told me to do. Nowadays, whenever somebody comes, in fact, I did it with Sunil. Sunil came on a call, he said he was facing XYZ issue in the business. I was like, I did this. And he kept talking a lot. So that helps, right? So that is one verbal cue that helps. So I just say, really? I'll be like, and people keep talking a lot. So that's my personal cue, at least for my personality, that works a lot. Why do you say that though? Let's say somebody says, weight gain is stressful. Really? Why do you say that though? Then they start explaining that statement. In the process of explaining, you can find so many more pains that you can leverage to pitch. Because pain nahi hoga to kya hi bechoge? Your prospects need to feel that pain, right? This is my favorite. Has that ever put you in a tough spot? Concerned. The same concerned tone. In what way though? And this scale, I love it. So I don't understand. So I get it. So just to quantify this, based on a scale of 1 to 10, where is your situation right now, where, as opposed to where it possibly could be, or where it could possibly be, something like this. And then they give a number. So this is all in this particular tutorial. And there are some assignments People in RCM, it's compulsory for you. People who are not in RCM, please do it. It will really help. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is record these sentences, these 5 statements, and start observing, start listening to you. And it's super cringe. I tell you, it's not easy. It's so cringe to listen to your own voice. But trust me, it will allow you to really introspect and become more self-aware about how is your tonality. If it is not even 90% convincing to you, or it's not even 10% convincing to you, it's not going to be 90% convincing to your audience. So make sure that you are sold on your own tonality, and this can be done with a lot of practice. आप चाहो तो अपने sales script को ही practice कर लो, I don't care, but do this, because this is the literal game changer between somebody who is really successful in terms of closing deals as opposed to somebody who is struggling to meet these things. Yeah, so there you go. Next we got and you can add your own 100 to 200 word reflection and write it for yourself. I'm not going to check. I'm going to check our students' reflections 100%. And then do a role-playing situation. Just ask the same questions along with deeper probing questions with some of your teammates or in the community. Just talk to each other, right? So if you do that, so what are the challenges that you're facing? Tell me more about it, and observe how they are opening up. If your teammates can open up, your prospects can open up as well. So do this exercise, and you can paste your assignments here, or the recording links here for the people, my boys or girls in remote closing mastery, obviously. And if you're not in the community, it's okay. Do it. At least practice ho jayegi achhi wali. Yeah. Cool. So let me ask you a question before I take doubts right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, oh wait, Zoom is doing this thing. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much would you rate this particular class? Let me know in the chat. Oh wow, Sunil, I got that validation now. Awesome. How much would you refer a friend to take a class like this? This is my NPS score here. Whoa. Awesome. I love this. I love this. Now, how many of you promise me that you'll go to your home and do this exercise? Because मैं पढ़ाने को तो पढ़ा देगा मैं, तुम लोग practice नहीं करेगा कुछ नहीं होगा, ठीक है? This is very important. I can only give 1 hour of my time, and that's too like आज तुम free में दे दिया चलो. But yeah, please do practice. Now, thank you. I have recorded these responses. Now, let me know if you have any questions. Raise your hands in the Zoom. If you don't have any questions, please lower your hand so that I don't ask, everyone. Shweta, you have a question? Okay, I'll lower your hand. How many of you have a question to ask? I'm open for discussions. Link to this sheet. This links to this doc. Yes, here you go. Go ahead and check it out. Cool. सबका डाउट क्लियर हो गया. चलो ठीक है, नहीं पूछते किसी को. बढ़िया. ये दो सिचुएशन में आता है, डाउट्स ही नहीं आते. Either you understood everything or you understood nothing, or let's say add a third situation where you understood something but it was too overwhelming for you and you want to go through it. I'm assuming it's number 3 because that hurts me the least. ठीक है? Don't worry, I have been doing these classes for a long time, so it's okay. All I need is you guys practicing. Shweta, madam, what is up? कैसे हो? आपकी team member है आज?
I have a pointed question here. While we prepare our sales script and we also have the tonality training in place, but how to gauge कि कौन सा टोन में यहाँ पे प्ले करना है, कौन सा टोन में यहाँ पे प्ले नहीं करना है, ये तो एक्सपीरियंस के साथ ही आएगा ना. तो but are there any guidelines like based on the pre-conversation before getting into the call, or what are the guidelines कि कौन सा?
I mean, those guidelines is something that I'll be covering in the next thing. So whenever I create a sales script, I actually do this. I add like the tone. I bold the word that you need to emphasize on in that particular thing. So वही आपको जो assignment दिया था ना, create your own badass script. I will. So badass, by the way, is my proprietary sales framework. It's called building rapport, attaining control, demystifying. It's a whole acronym. I called it badass because
when we are training the staff, we know we are able to gauge people based on the experience.
तो वहाँ पे लिख देते हैं यहाँ पे. लाइक ऐसे लिख देते हैं कहाँ पे कंफ्यूजन आना चाहिए, कहाँ पे
Okay.
कॉन्फिडेंट आना चाहिए. So confident I didn't clear, right, because that's obvious honestly. But yeah, concerned कहाँ आना चाहिए. So you can add this. So I normally add this in the script. So that's why I don't ask the entrepreneurs to write the script with the tone first. तभी मैंने आपको बोला आप बस स्क्रिप्ट बना दो, बाकी का ये जो मसाला है मैं डाल दूंगा उसके ऊपर कहाँ पे क्या पूछना है, right? So
And
so looking at the script itself, they'll know how to act in which situation, and with practice they'll basically get to a good level.
okay.
Can I ask you, or can I jump in for 3 minutes?
Yes, Sunil, thank you very much. Please.
Thank you. So a lot of my team members are there in this meeting. I saw Sadanand and everybody. Thank you very much for being there. And to everybody who's attending this meeting, I can see that all of you are very, very young people. So I will tell you a small story. I'm 54 years old now. And when I was 29 years of age, one of my friend from XLRI Jamshedpur graduate had organized only for us friends a sales program in a Lonavala resort. When I was 29, today I'm 54. Today, this session is the only second session that I have attended after the Lonavala session. Okay. Now, and hear me out, Jayant, you will see this. I have always said that I could build my business entirely based on the seminar that I had attended on behavioral selling skills in Lonavala. Now, I want to share with all of you here, all these techniques work like mathematics. Mathematics. Only thing is, it takes some kind of a practice, conscious practice.
Yeah.
Learning these techniques is like learning to drive a car. Once you drive a car, you can go places. But initially, when you are learning, your car will stop, you will be very conscious, with that clutch and gear and all that kind of a thing. And then you will think, अरे यार इससे तो मैं पैदल ही जाता तो अच्छा था. Now,
Yeah.
avoid that. Avoid that. And stay with that car and learn to drive. Oh my God, once the car starts driving, all these techniques work like math. So I don't want, many of my friends who came to that Lonavala meeting, Jayant, said, "Ha, ye to kya hai?" And some people have this ded shana attitude. ये सब theory में चलता है. Particularly sales people.
Yeah.
After every sales meeting, while going out and lighting a cigarette, everybody will say, वो जैन सर theory बात करता है. Practically वो हमारे inquiries को आके बात करेगा. तो it's a very, very short-sighted attitude.
Yeah.
I have actually implemented all the suggestions of behavioral selling skills and objection handling that he taught me in Lonavala and built a business of a few crore of rupees, international business, only on the basis of those 2 days of training. Today, I saw the same value in Jayant's every single suggestion. My only thing is, to these 44 people who are attending it, initially, because of the hiccups, you will feel like throwing it away.
Yeah.
But if you stick with it for 6 months, you will build an empire out of it for the rest of your life. And Jayant, तुम सब में सबसे ज्यादा सफेद दाढ़ी मेरा है. So I thought of taking my experiences.
Thank you very much.
I came out of the line and I came uninvited, but it came where I couldn't control myself in just explaining this to people.
Thank you very much, man. That was really awesome. So you know what, my mentor, when he took this class, he's in US, so he's a US sales guy. He gave a disclaimer in the beginning. He's like, I'm giving you the last chance to leave this webinar because after what I taught you today, you'll never be able to see your sales script the same way. And yeah, that happened. Actually, my sales dipped after that. So don't worry, your sales won't dip. But I became so self-aware of my own vocal patterns, my tones, that initially there was a small sales hiccup, but then it went like whoosh, like this. And I used to sell so when I became like a sales closer for Deepak, I would convert at 5%, 10% in the webinars, and probably in a one-on-one call 15, sometimes 10. and this dipped to like 5% in one-on-one calls as well, and then it straight up jumped to like, once I got it, 33, 40%, 25%. And this month, I'm proud of saying this, Adeep's conversion rate is 66%. So 2 out of 3 calls he closed. And a new sales guy that I hired this month, and we hired them on February 15th, in 15 days. That's our ramp up period, by the way. I'm really proud of this because our ramp up period is the fastest in the industry, 14 to 15 days. In 14 days, this guy Shivam, I don't know whether Shivam has attended, Shivam Dhiri, he closed at 35%. Internationally, the conversion rates, average conversion rate is at about 10%. So, and by the way, Shivam doesn't even remember half of my script. He just knows tonality. That's it. Right? So that's how powerful this is. So I want you guys to take it up and start acting on it. By the way, one final permission. By the way, this whole presentation I created because a lot of the entrepreneurs, whether they were my clients or not, Ankit bhai is not yet my clients, but when I see this pain कि यार कुछ लोग बहुत अच्छा perform कर रहे हैं, कुछ लोग नहीं कर रहे हैं, there are some sales people in my network who say यार मेरे से हो ही नहीं रहा and all that. I thought like this is not something that I should gate myself inside a private community where I'll just teach to people who have paid me money. I want this out in the world, so I want your permission, especially people who have paid me money. Can I have your permission to put it on YouTube? Put yes in the chat box, and don't worry, you will not have any competition. It's just that people out there will get some free gain. Yeah? Awesome. Thanks a lot for this. You guys are generous. I love it. I'm so proud to mentor you guys. So, alright. So, if you learned something by looking at this brain picture, then let me know in the comments if this whole session was valuable. And if it was valuable, please do subscribe and share this lesson with your friends. Because honestly, I charge a lot of money to show you all this. And I don't want, honestly, from my whole heart, I don't want to limit this knowledge to just a paid gated community. I want the whole world to know this. So please share this whole knowledge to your friends or family, whoever wants to become really good at sales or communication. And if you want to become a world-class salesperson with trainings like these, then there is a link below this video. You can click on that and book a session with one of my team members where we'll understand your requirements, because we have very high bar for taking our students, and just apply for it and we can definitely talk more about it. Thank you very much for watching and see you in the next video.